Fellow Toastmasters, in case you haven't noticed recently, we have an egg problem. Over the past year, and I think it may have been going on longer than anybody really realizes, we've seen not just a shortage of eggs, but also a steep hike in prices. You could go online and find all manner of explanations as to the cause of these plights. Avian flu, and bird culling. Certain ingredients or ingredients found in bird feed are keeping them from laying eggs. Major egg producers using the avian flu as an excuse for price gouging, arson, aliens, whatever. But you can't deny that something is wrong. Some time ago, I made a speech about chickens. I mentioned how in about early to mid 2020, we saw the global rise of COVID. And following that, we saw a surge not just in private vegetable gardens, but also in backyard hen ownership. In fact, we got our chickens the summer of 2019, which was a good thing because, according to at least one article I read, by April of 2020, there was a surge, almost a panic buying of backyard chickens. So we lucked out. Unfortunately, it's not just industrial egg producers that are experiencing these egg shortage problems. In some cases, it's private backyard chicken owners as well. Some people attribute it to winter, but this is a huge anomaly. There's nothing that's related to winter about it. A number of factors go into egg laying. Hens will ovulate and lay without the need of a rooster, which is a there to impregnate the egg and make a chick. A chicken will start laying eggs at about 18 to 20 weeks and then lay consistency for about 2 to 3 years, after which they'll get a little old and their consistency will gradually taper off. The healthiest eggs come from chickens who forage and are given a wide variety of nutrients and are allowed to run around in free spaces, like our chickens. There are a lot of other determining factors as to the consistency and health of egg laying, including nutrients, weather, threat of predators, stress, and of course, seasons. That being winter, when egg laying is the lowest. And there are a couple of reasons for this. One is sunlight. Hens need sunlight. It stimulates their egg laying process because of hormones. They have less than, say, 12 to 16 hours of sunlight a day. It's going to be harder to lay eggs. The other problem is molting. Starting in fall, chickens molt. And depending on the age of the chicken, it can take anywhere from maybe 2 to 4 weeks to 12 weeks. And chickens need a lot of protein in order to keep their feathers. So when you grow new feathers, eggs take less priority. And that's another reason you see a shortage during winter. When we got our first 4 chickens, only 3 of which are left, it was a summer and they were only 6 to 12 weeks old. Now they're about 4 or 5 years old. And predictably, egg laying has more or less ceased with them. We have 2 new chickens. They're mostly spring chickens, meaning younger in their first and second years. They're still laying through the winter, but as they get older, eventually they'll stop. For the past several months, even before winter hit, we were getting only 1 or 2 eggs a day between 5 chickens. In the face of shortages, we've been taking alternate and more sustainable methods in order to keep them healthy and well fed. We continue to allow our chickens to roam free. We continue to allow them to graze. In addition, we bring home discarded produce from the local grocery store for them to eat and encourage them to forage in our compost bins, even though most of the bugs they look for have gone for the winter. Believe it or not, through all these changes, and we have stopped using commercial feed, they've been getting healthier. In fact, instead of the 1 to 2 eggs we get per day, we now have 3 eggs from 5 chickens. There is a difference. Whether or not you agree with any authoritative or conspiracy sounding notions for why this plight is taking place, there is a difference. If you own chickens, there are additional steps you can take to encourage egg production. You can't force a chicken to produce an egg, but you can encourage it and keep them healthy in the meantime. Even for older chickens. Not commercial feed is best, but if it turns out that it really is tainted, and in certain cases it may even become unaffordable, it wouldn't come as a surprise. You need alternative methods of keeping your chickens healthy. One is artificial light, usually a 25 or 40-watt bulb to be hung reasonably far above, maybe 7 feet away from feathers and bedding. Can take the place of natural sunlight, not complete place, but add to their but take away from their light deficiency. They need constant access to water, not necessarily health water, because I've seen them drinking from mud puddles every time I change their water dish, but they do need constant access to water. Even not having access to water for even a few hours can have negative results in egg laying. Also, just like humans, they need a wide variety of nutrients and vegetables. The most important are calcium, fat, protein, vitamin D, phosphorus. Calcium can be provided by crushing eggs and mixing it with their feed. We give them cheese, a lot of cheese for protein. Did I mention they're spoiled? Balanced meals should include proteins, whole grains, amino acid, healthy fats, moderate carbohydrates, and vitamins such as A, B1, B2, D, E, and K. You should look up recipes to make sure they're getting a completely balanced meal. You can also give them hot peppers. While capsaicin doesn't cure ailments, it's good for keeping worms out of the system. And because birds can't register the hotness of the seeds, they're not bothered by it. And seeds also make a tasty snack. And if you don't have chickens and you see you lack eggs, just remember that applesauce or mashed bananas is a cheaper and more easier substitute. Thank you and stay safe.